Ebook title: The Mirror of the Soul, Speaking Kindly to Yourself at Night. Purpose: guide the viewer through self-talk that replaces self-criticism with compassion. Are you aware that your soul hears every word you whisper? What are you telling yourself before you sleep? Chapter 1: The Night is a Mirror. Every night, as we lay our heads on the pillow, the world outside slows down, but our inner world lights up. Thoughts swirl, feelings surface, and unspoken words echo in the chambers of our mind. This sacred time right before sleep is more powerful than we realize. It is a mirror, reflecting not just the day that has passed but the deeper truths we hold about ourselves. Our minds are like still waters at night. In the quiet, everything becomes clearer. This stillness gives us a precious opportunity to engage with ourselves honestly. Without the noise of the day to distract us, our true thoughts and beliefs are laid bare. What we say to ourselves in these moments shapes not just our sleep, but also our subconscious programming. You may notice how the events of the day replay like a silent film. A conversation here, a decision there, perhaps a mistake you keep revisiting in your mind. Your inner critic may awaken, pointing out flaws, saying things you would never utter to another person. Why did I do that? I sounded so foolish. I should have been better. But what if the night is not meant for judgment but for healing? Imagine looking into a mirror not to judge, but to witness. To see yourself, in full humanity, and say, I see you. I honor your effort. I understand your pain. I acknowledge your tiredness. This mirror reflects more than your actions. It reflects your intentions, your efforts, and the quiet strength it takes just to make it through a single day. This chapter invites you to become aware of the inner dialogue you carry into your nights. Are you carrying guilt, regrets, or a harsh critique? Or are you offering yourself kindness, forgiveness, and love? The mirror does not lie, but it will reflect whatever light you shine into it. Let it be light. Let it be love. The night is not a courtroom. It is a sanctuary. It is not where you are sentenced, it is where you are soothed. It is where the soul prepares itself to dream again, to hope again, to rise again. You can start this transformation with a simple shift in awareness. Tonight, before you sleep, notice what you are saying to yourself. Not just the obvious words, but the tone, the energy, the emotional weight behind them. Ask yourself gently, if someone else said this to me every night, would I feel more alive or more broken? This is the litmus test for your inner mirror. Does your self-talk deepen your wounds, or does it begin to stitch them up with threads of compassion? Start small. Begin by closing your eyes and placing your hand over your heart. Take a deep breath. As you exhale, release any tension. As you inhale, call in gentleness. Now, whisper something kind. It could be as simple as, "Thank you for trying today." This tiny act is revolutionary. In a world that often demands perfection, choosing kindness for yourself is a form of quiet rebellion. It is an act of soul preservation. Each night, you can make the choice to let your mirror reflect your light, not your lack. Over time, this practice becomes a habit, a ritual even. Like brushing your teeth, you brush your thoughts clean. You release the bitterness, the harshness, and leave room for softness. For grace. For growth. Consider keeping a mirror by your bedside not just for appearance, but as a symbol. A nightly reminder. Look into it, and instead of checking how you look, check how you feel. Whisper, "You did your best." Whisper, "I see you." Whisper, "We made it through." And even on days when you feel you've fallen short, let that be okay too. The mirror of the soul is not a place for performance. It's a place for presence. It's not there to tell you what to fix. It's there to show you what already is and invite you to meet it with compassion. The deeper message here is one of self-enrichment. When you speak kindly to yourself, especially at night, you are planting seeds. Seeds of resilience. Seeds of emotional intelligence. Seeds of spiritual maturity. You are enriching your soul's soil so that when morning comes, you don't just rise, you bloom. There is no wrong time to begin. You don't need to be perfect to start this. You just need to be willing. Tonight, make a pact with yourself: no more self-abuse in the quiet. Only self-honor. You've carried enough burdens. The night is your time to lay them down and wrap yourself in love. You are not alone in this. Every person you've ever admired has wrestled with self-doubt in the silence. And like you, they had to choose to speak life over fear. To let the mirror reflect not the mask they wore in the world but the truth of who they are. So tonight, when the world is asleep and it's just you and your thoughts, pause. Look inward. Speak kindly. Because the night is a mirror. And what you reflect into it, you carry into your dreams, your rest, your soul. Let it be light. Let it be healing. Let it be love. Chapter 2, Rewriting the Inner Script. Most of us inherited a script, an internal narrative shaped by past criticisms, social conditioning, or self-imposed standards. These voices whisper, "You're not enough, you messed up again," or "Why can't you just be better?" But what if we rewrote this script? The first step in rewriting is awareness. Many people don't even realize they're running on a loop of negativity. This internal programming becomes so embedded, so familiar, that it begins to feel like truth. But it's not truth, it's habit. And like any habit, it can be changed. Start by observing your thoughts, especially in quiet moments before sleep, in the shower, during your commute. What phrases keep repeating? What's the tone? Do these thoughts uplift or deflate you? Now comes the powerful second step: question them. Is it really true that you're not enough? Who said that? When did that belief begin? Did you ever consciously agree to it? Most of our inner narratives were never chosen, they were absorbed. Take back the pen. You are the author of your story now. And you get to revise. Here's how. 1. Identify the saboteur statements. Write down recurring negative thoughts. Examples: I'm lazy, I always fail, no one really cares about me. See them not as facts, but as echoes, old recordings that once made sense but no longer serve. 2. Name the inner critic. Give your inner critic a name. This helps separate the voice from your identity. You might call it Doubtful Dan or Harsh Helen. When the voice arises, say, "Ah, there's Doubtful Dan again. Thanks, but I've got this." Humor disarms the harshness. 3. Rewrite with compassion. For every saboteur statement, create a compassionate counter-message. Instead of "I'm lazy," say, "I'm learning how to rest and renew with balance." Instead of "I always fail," say, "I've had setbacks, but they've taught me valuable lessons." These messages aren't lies. They're truth, spoken through the lens of love instead of fear. 4. Anchor the new script with emotion. The subconscious learns through repetition and emotion. Simply saying an affirmation isn't enough. Feel it. Say, "I am learning," and feel the warmth of that truth. Say, "I forgive myself," and breathe into that release. Do this every night. Think of it as tucking your soul into bed with a lullaby of truth. The same way a loving parent would speak tenderly to a child, speak tenderly to yourself. Repetition with feeling reshapes the inner script. 5. Use nighttime anchors. As you lay in bed, visualize your mind like a page. Ask yourself, "What story do I want to write here tonight?" Then speak it softly. Today, I tried. Today, I grew. Today, I mattered. Write post-it notes and stick them near your bed. Record a voice note of your new script and play it softly as you fall asleep. Let your last thoughts of the day be nurturing, empowering, forgiving. Why does this matter? Because your subconscious is most open to suggestion right before you sleep. In those moments, you are setting the tone for your dreams, your healing, and even your next day. Rewriting your script is not about pretending everything is perfect. It's about holding the truth with kindness. It's about no longer beating yourself up for being human. It's about choosing language that builds you up rather than tears you down. Even one small shift can change your trajectory. Instead of waking up thinking, "I hate my life," you might wake up thinking, "I'm figuring it out." Instead of ending the day with "I'm a failure," you end with "I'm evolving." This isn't about toxic positivity, it's about emotional responsibility. You are the guardian of your inner language. And every word you use either digs deeper wounds or plants seeds of wholeness. Sometimes, we hold onto our old scripts because they feel familiar. Even painful familiarity can feel safer than the unknown. But you deserve a life and a mind rooted in love. So, tonight, listen in. Hear the script. Then, gently, lovingly rewrite it. You might say, "I am doing my best, and that is enough. Mistakes are not who I am. They are stepping stones. My value does not diminish because of today's challenges. I am learning to trust myself." These words, repeated and felt, become your new foundation. Not overnight but night by night. Remember, you are not the sum of the worst things you've done or believed. You are a soul in motion. A heart becoming. And every kind word you whisper to yourself is a step toward becoming who you truly are. Let your nights be filled with kindness. Let your script speak of hope. And let your inner voice echo the truth: you are worthy. You are capable. You are rewriting your story, and it's a beautiful one. Chapter 3: The Power of a Kind Voice. Words are spells. The tone you use with yourself matters. If you had a child, a pet, or a friend hurting, how would you speak to them? Gently. With patience. With care. Why should it be any different for you? For many, the inner voice is far harsher than any outer critic. It chastises, mocks, belittles. It picks apart every flaw, exaggerates every shortcoming, and turns even minor mistakes into major character flaws. Over time, this unkind voice becomes familiar. But familiarity does not mean truth, and it certainly does not mean helpful. Let's pause here and ask, what if your inner voice became your greatest ally instead of your harshest enemy? What if it became a source of comfort, motivation, and encouragement? It's possible, and it begins by choosing a kind voice. A kind voice is not weak. It's not about sugarcoating everything or avoiding hard truths. It's about speaking the truth through the lens of empathy, support, and understanding. It's what you would want to hear from someone who genuinely wants you to grow and thrive. Here's the transformative insight: your subconscious accepts whatever your inner voice repeatedly says, especially right before bed. So, every night, you are either casting a spell of self-belief or one of self-doubt. Choose your words wisely. They don't disappear after they're spoken, they echo in your mind, shaping your perception, your self-image, and even your dreams. The echo of compassion. Think of a moment when someone spoke to you kindly. Maybe it was a teacher who believed in you, a friend who encouraged you, or a loved one who comforted you. Their words probably stayed with you, warming your memory like a soft glow. Now imagine giving that same gift to yourself every single night. When you use a kind voice, you are not just being nice. You are creating a sanctuary within. A place where your mind can rest, your heart can heal, and your soul can remember its worth. How to cultivate a kind voice. Here are steps to begin transforming your inner dialogue. 1. Shift from judgment to observation. Judgment says, "You failed again." Observation says, "This didn't go the way I hoped, what can I learn from it?" Replace accusations with reflections. Instead of, "I was so awkward," Try, I felt nervous, and that's okay. This creates space for growth rather than guilt. 2. Practice mirror talk. Each night, stand before a mirror and say kind things to yourself out loud. It may feel silly or awkward at first, but hearing your own voice say, "I am enough," or "I forgive myself," is deeply powerful. It bypasses the filters of doubt and connects directly with your core. 3. Use a soft tone. Not just the words, but the tone matters. Speak softly, gently, like you would to a child who had a rough day. This tone soothes your nervous system, promotes emotional regulation, and signals safety to your subconscious. 4. Create a kindness phrase bank. Write down a list of kind phrases you can repeat before bed. Here are some examples. I am proud of how far I've come. I did my best today, and that is enough. It's okay to rest. I deserve peace. Even with my flaws, I am worthy of love. Keep this list by your bedside or in your phone. Let these phrases be the lullabies of your soul. 5. Reframe setbacks with encouragement. Instead of saying, "I can't believe I did that," try, "That was tough, but I'm learning." Instead of, "I'll never get this right," try, "I'm getting better every day." This isn't denial, it's dedication to treating yourself with the same respect and hope you offer others. Subliminal transformation. Using a kind voice consistently sends a deep message to your subconscious: I am safe with myself. That's the ultimate healing. Because no matter how chaotic the world gets, when your inner world becomes a place of refuge, you always have somewhere to return to. This kindness also radiates outward. When you speak gently to yourself, you become more patient with others, more forgiving, more peaceful. It's not just personal, it's contagious. Evening ritual. Speak with love. Tonight, try this. Sit in a quiet, comfortable space. Place your hand over your heart. Close your eyes and take 3 deep breaths. Whisper 5 kind things to yourself. Anything you need to hear. Let each word sink in. Feel the emotional shift. This ritual takes less than 5 minutes, but its effects ripple through your sleep, your dreams, and your waking life. A final thought. There will be nights when the old voice creeps in. It may try to shout over your gentleness. That's okay. Don't fight it, just acknowledge it and return to kindness. Like retraining a muscle, consistency builds strength. You've heard the saying, talk to yourself like someone you love. It's more than a quote, it's a path to self-enrichment. So tonight, let your voice be a balm. Let your words be warm. Let your tone be tender. You are not too much. You are not too late. You are not broken. You are worthy. You are healing. You are becoming. And your soul? It hears you. Every word. Chapter 4, Healing Through Reflection. There's a sacred pause each night that invites us into reflection. Not the harsh kind that replays every mistake, but the gentle kind that nurtures growth, honors effort, and releases judgment. In this pause, healing happens not through force, but through presence. Reflection is not the same as rumination. Rumination circles endlessly around what went wrong. Reflection observes and then releases. It says, "Let me understand," instead of "let me condemn." This distinction is the gateway to self-healing. Our minds are wired to review the past, it's how we learn. But when the review is fueled by fear, shame, or anger, we become trapped. Healing reflection invites grace into that review. And bedtime is the perfect moment for it. Let's begin with a simple truth: you are more than the events of your day. You are more than your productivity, your interactions, your wins or losses. Each evening, as the world quiets, you have the chance to come home to yourself not as a performer, but as a soul. One of the most effective ways to invite healing through reflection is to practice what I call the 3Gs: gratitude, growth, and grace. This simple ritual, done in just a few quiet minutes before sleep, can realign your heart and mind. 1. Gratitude. What can I be thankful for today? Gratitude grounds you in what is good. Even on the hardest days, there is something: a kind smile, a warm cup of tea, a moment of breath. When you name what you're grateful for, your brain releases serotonin and dopamine, the feel-good chemicals that naturally ease anxiety and sadness. Speak your gratitude aloud or write it down. Today, I'm grateful for the way the sunset made me pause. I'm grateful that I kept going even when I was tired. Let the energy of appreciation become your closing note. 2. Growth. How did I grow today? You might have grown in ways that aren't visible. Maybe you showed patience when you wanted to snap. Maybe you asked for help when you usually hide your needs. Maybe you simply endured, and that counts too. Growth isn't always shiny. Sometimes, it looks like saying no. Sometimes, it looks like resting. Reflecting on your growth helps you build a healthy self-image, not one based on perfection, but on evolution. Speak your growth. Today, I was more aware of my feelings. Today, I caught myself before spiraling. Today, I forgave myself a little more. These recognitions build emotional resilience. 3. Grace. What can I forgive today? Here's where the deepest healing happens. Grace is the choice to release the inner whip. To stop punishing yourself for being human. To understand that you are always doing the best you can with the awareness you have. Grace doesn't excuse harm, but it does acknowledge effort. I didn't handle that conversation perfectly, but I was honest. I was late, but I'm learning to manage my time better. I forgot something, but that doesn't make me forgettable. End your day with grace, not guilt. Your soul responds to gentleness. It blossoms in safety. And grace is the most profound safety you can offer yourself. Reflective practices to deepen your healing. Night journal. Keep a notebook by your bed. Before sleeping, jot down the 3Gs. This turns reflection into a concrete ritual and gives you something to look back on during hard times. Audio reflections. If writing isn't your style, record your nightly reflections as voice notes. Hearing your own voice speak kindly can shift your internal narrative over time. Evening meditation. Use guided meditations focused on forgiveness and gratitude. Let your mind rest in soft awareness. Gentle self-inquiry. Ask yourself nightly questions like, what did I need today? Did I offer myself that need? How can I be kinder tomorrow? Why this matters so deeply. When you end your day with reflection rooted in love, you build a powerful loop. Instead of bracing for dreams filled with regret, you invite dreams filled with restoration. Instead of waking up already exhausted by your self-talk, you rise anchored in your worth. This isn't just emotional. It's neurological. Regular nighttime reflection creates new neural pathways. Your brain begins to expect compassion instead of criticism. Your nervous system begins to trust that rest is safe. And most importantly, your soul feels seen. Every single night, you have the opportunity to say, I choose to see myself through loving eyes. And over time, this builds a new internal identity, one where you are not your failures, not your fears, but your faithful presence. Tonight, try this. Sit on your bed with a calm heart. Close your eyes and take 3 slow breaths. Whisper these. I am grateful for. Today, I grew by. I offer myself grace for. Let the words echo. Let them soften you. Let them settle into your dreams. This is your sacred pause. Your reset. Your nightly reunion with your truest self. So as you lay down, remember, you are worthy of a kind review. You are worthy of release. You are worthy of beginning again. The night holds space for all of you, not just your light, but your learning. Speak gently in that space, and it will heal you. Chapter 5, Replacing Criticism with Curiosity. Criticism punishes. Curiosity nurtures. That's the essential difference between living in fear and growing in love. When we criticize ourselves, we close the door on learning. When we approach ourselves with curiosity, we open a window to understanding. The former shrinks the soul, the latter expands it. Imagine for a moment, you made a mistake today. Perhaps you said the wrong thing, forgot something important, or didn't meet your expectations. If your first response is, "What's wrong with me?" you reinforce shame. But if your response becomes, "What can I learn from this?" you create space for compassion and growth. This chapter is an invitation to replace the voice of criticism with the voice of curiosity. Curiosity is not indulgent, it is wise. It allows us to learn without punishing ourselves. It moves us toward truth without the weight of shame. The critic's trap. Criticism often disguises itself as self-discipline. We think being hard on ourselves will keep us accountable or push us to do better. But research shows that self-compassion is far more effective than self-criticism in promoting motivation, emotional resilience, and performance. The inner critic doesn't build, it breaks. It doesn't guide, it wounds. And over time, it becomes a background soundtrack that plays even when you're not aware. Some common critical thoughts might be: why can't I ever get things right? I'm so stupid for doing that. I'm not good enough. Left unchallenged, these thoughts shape how you see yourself. But you can interrupt this pattern. And you can do it gently. Choosing curiosity instead. Curiosity asks different questions. What was I feeling in that moment? What triggered that reaction? What can I do differently next time? These questions invite insight. They allow you to respond, rather than react. They offer the grace to evolve. A nightly practice of gentle inquiry. Before bed, spend 5 minutes journaling or thinking through your day using a curiosity lens. Here's a simple structure. What moment today felt off or difficult? What was I thinking or feeling at that time? What might have caused that reaction in me? What do I need to hear or understand about myself right now? What can I try differently if this happens again? This practice doesn't require perfection. It requires presence. Be honest, but not harsh. Be thorough, but not judgmental. The language of curiosity. Here are some phrases to introduce into your inner dialogue. Isn't that interesting? I wonder why I felt that way. Let's explore that thought a bit. Maybe there's another perspective here. This language softens defensiveness. It opens doors. It brings your inner world into a safer, more loving space. Subliminal empowerment. Curiosity sends a deep message to your subconscious: I trust myself enough to explore. I believe there's value in my experience. I am capable of learning without fear. This mindset builds emotional intelligence. You start noticing your triggers sooner, managing your responses better, and navigating relationships with more grace. Most importantly, you begin to develop a deeper, more respectful relationship with yourself. A self-coaching example. Let's say you snapped at someone today and now feel guilty. The critical response: I'm such a bad person. I always ruin things. The curious response: what was happening for me then? Was I tired? Overwhelmed? What do I wish I had done instead? What can I do to make amends or care for myself now? Same situation, radically different outcomes. One deepens shame. The other supports healing. Creating a curiosity ritual. Try this nightly. Sit quietly in dim lighting. Breathe deeply and place your hand on your chest. Ask yourself, where did I judge myself today? Gently respond with, what would curiosity say? Close your eyes and imagine that you're holding your younger self. Say something like, let's explore together. You are safe. You are loved. Let's grow without fear. Why this practice matters? In time, curiosity becomes your default. Instead of spiraling into anxiety over mistakes, you become anchored in observation. Instead of fearing your emotions, you meet them with a wise and open heart. This shift affects every area of your life. It reduces stress. It increases creativity. It improves relationships. But most of all, it brings peace. Because there is nothing more peaceful than knowing you can trust yourself to respond with kindness, no matter what. Tonight's closing whisper. I release the need to be perfect. I embrace the power of understanding. I am growing, and that is enough. Let your soul hear that. Let it settle in. Because you are not here to criticize yourself into worthiness. You are here to understand yourself into wholeness. Chapter 6, Creating a Sanctuary Within. Your bedroom is more than just a place to sleep. It is your haven, your cocoon, your temple of rest. And when infused with intention, it becomes a sanctuary for your soul, a sacred space that supports healing, peace, and inner renewal. Sanctuaries don't require perfection. They require presence. It's not about how expensive your bedding is or how curated your space looks for social media. A true sanctuary is defined by the energy it holds, the energy you infuse into it. And the most healing energy you can offer is that of love, care, and safety. As you journey deeper into the practice of speaking kindly to yourself at night, your physical environment plays a critical role. It holds your rituals, mirrors your values, and amplifies your intentions. Let's create a space that whispers peace the moment you walk in. Step 1. Declutter with compassion. Clutter often represents unmade decisions and emotional weight. When your space is chaotic, your mind tends to mirror that chaos. Begin by clearing your room not with pressure, but with gentleness. Pick one small area, a drawer, your bedside table, a single shelf. As you go, ask, does this item support my rest? Does it bring me peace? Let go of what no longer aligns with the peaceful version of you that you are creating. Each cleared space becomes a breath of fresh air for your soul. Step 2. Introduce sacred symbols. Symbols speak to the subconscious. When chosen with intention, they ground us in meaning. Introduce items that anchor your nightly rituals: a candle for stillness, a stone for strength, a journal for release, or a piece of art that inspires grace. You might place a small mirror to reflect light, reminding you that even in darkness, you hold illumination. A soft light source, like a Himalayan salt lamp, can create warmth and safety. These symbols don't have to be elaborate, they simply need to speak to your spirit. Step 3. Create a sensory haven. Your senses are doorways to relaxation. Engage them all. Sight. Keep lighting low and warm. Use calming colors like soft blues, warm beiges, or serene whites. Sound. Play gentle music, nature sounds, or soft chimes. Even silence can be healing if it's chosen, not imposed. Scent. Introduce calming aromas like lavender, sandalwood, or eucalyptus. Essential oil diffusers or scented pillows are lovely tools. Touch. Choose soft fabrics for your bedding and sleepwear. Add textures that feel nurturing: plush throws, cushioned rugs, or satin pillowcases. Taste. A warm herbal tea before bed can signal to your body and mind that it's time to wind down. Chamomile, peppermint, or lemon balm are excellent choices. Step 4. Ritualize the transition to rest. Bedtime is not just a physical act, it's an energetic shift. Create a transition ritual that signals the end of your day and the beginning of restoration. It might include turning off harsh lights and lighting a candle. Washing your face slowly, thanking it for expressing your soul. Writing down one worry and placing it in a surrender jar. Whispering one affirmation aloud as you sit on your bed. This doesn't need to be long. A simple 5-minute ritual can completely change the emotional tone of your night. Step 5. Set an intention for sleep. Your sleep is not just downtime, it is a time of recalibration. Before you drift off, set an intention. It might be: tonight, I allow healing. I welcome peace. I trust my dreams to guide me. Speak this intention out loud or silently as you lay down. Place your hand on your heart or belly. Breathe in deeply. As you exhale, imagine releasing the day. As you inhale, imagine drawing in pure light. Subliminal message of self-respect. When you take time to honor your space, you are sending a powerful subliminal message: I am worthy of care. This ritualistic care builds self-respect from the inside out. You no longer wait for the world to validate your worth, you reflect it back to yourself in the smallest of gestures: a tidy corner, a soft blanket, a whispered prayer. Your bed as a sacred altar. Think of your bed not as furniture, but as an altar of peace. It holds your tired body. It receives your daily release. It supports your dreams. Treat it with reverence. Make your bed each morning as a ritual of respect. Bless your bed at night with words like, may this be a place of safety and surrender. Imagine your bed holding you the way a loving parent would without condition. Creating consistency in chaos. Life will not always feel calm. There will be stressful days, heartbreak, and disruption. But your sanctuary can remain a constant. It can become your nightly homecoming. A space where you shed roles, responsibilities, and worries. A place where you are simply you, beautiful, weary, and whole. Tonight's ritual prompt. Try this before bed. Turn off all bright lights. Light one candle. Sit on your bed with your feet on the floor. Say aloud, I create this space for peace. I deserve rest. I am safe. Place one hand on your heart. Close your eyes and take 5 deep breaths. Feel the shift. Let your space hold you. Final whisper for the night. Your room doesn't need to be perfect to be sacred. Your rituals don't need to be elaborate to be powerful. What matters is your presence. Your intention. Your willingness to offer yourself the same love you give to others. Let your sanctuary be a mirror. Let it reflect the truth: you are worthy of peace. You are worthy of care. And every night, you have the power to create a world within where your soul feels at home. Chapter 7, Speaking to the Inner Child. Deep within each of us resides a tender part, our inner child. It is the original version of ourselves, innocent, imaginative, sensitive, and deeply impressionable. This child within remembers everything not in facts and logic, but in feelings. The tones of voices. The warmth or coldness of glances. The joy of being loved, and the pain of being misunderstood or ignored. Every night before we sleep, this inner child listens to how we speak to ourselves. And what we say matters deeply. If we scold ourselves harshly, the child withdraws, becoming afraid. But if we speak gently with compassion and curiosity, that child feels safe to rest, play, and heal. This chapter is about building a nightly bridge between who you are now and who you were then. To look into your inner child's eyes and say, you matter. I see you. I will take care of you now. Understanding the inner child. The inner child is not a metaphor, it's an emotional reality. Your subconscious stores experiences from your earliest years and uses them to shape your sense of self-worth, safety, and belonging. If you experienced criticism, rejection, or emotional neglect, your inner child might have learned to hide, to please, or to feel unworthy. As adults, we often continue the cycle not because we are cruel, but because we never learned another way. But healing is always possible. And it begins with acknowledgement. The power of reparenting. Reparenting is the process of giving yourself what you didn't receive. It's not about blaming your caregivers. It's about becoming your own safe space. It's learning to offer your inner child the kindness, boundaries, and love they always needed. Each night before bed, you have a powerful opportunity to reparent. This is a sacred time, when the mind quiets and the heart opens. In these final moments of the day, your inner child leans in, hoping for kindness. Signs your inner child needs you. You feel a sudden wave of sadness or shame and can't explain why. You're easily triggered by rejection or criticism. You hear an inner voice that says, "You're not good enough." You crave love and approval but are afraid to ask for it. You feel overwhelmed by responsibility or emotionally exhausted. If any of these sound familiar, your inner child is likely trying to speak. And your nighttime ritual can become a healing dialogue. How to speak to the inner child at night. Get comfortable, sit or lie down in bed. Take a few deep breaths. Imagine you are meeting your younger self, perhaps at age 5, or 7, or 10. Visualize them, picture their face. What were they wearing? What were they feeling? Imagine them sitting beside you or curling up in your arms. Start the conversation. You might say things like, "I'm here now. I'm sorry you had to go through that. You didn't deserve that pain, but you handled it so bravely. You are safe with me. I will protect you. I will listen." Let them speak. Pause. Imagine what your inner child might want to say. You may hear words or simply feel emotions arise. Don't rush. Just listen. Respond with love, reassure them. Validate their feelings. Offer hugs in your imagination. Say things like, "You were never a burden. It's okay to rest. You are allowed to take up space. I love who you are." Incorporate a bedtime ritual. Create a routine that includes this inner dialogue. Here's a 10-minute version. Light a small candle or lamp. Sit on your bed, close your eyes, and place a hand on your chest. Whisper, "Come home now, little one. I'm ready to hold you." Breathe. Listen. Speak gently. Close by saying, "We are okay now. We're healing. I've got you." Why this matters so deeply. When you tend to your inner child, you dissolve years of silent shame. You reclaim your emotional innocence. You soften the hardened parts of yourself that only ever wanted to be seen. This healing isn't just personal, it's generational. Every time you choose love over self-criticism, you change the legacy. You become the safe parent to yourself that you may never have had. And in doing so, you show others, your own children, your loved ones, your friends, that healing is possible. Subliminal shift in identity. The more you speak to your inner child, the more you begin to see yourself through compassionate eyes. You are no longer the faulted adult who should have done better. You are the brave, beautiful survivor who is now learning to love with depth and tenderness. You also teach your nervous system to relax. Kindness signals safety. Reassurance quiets the stress response. Over time, your sleep deepens, your anxieties soften, and your resilience expands. Tonight's loving whisper. Before you drift off, say, "I love the child I once was. I love the adult I am becoming. I give myself the love I've always needed." Let these words hold you. Let them wrap around your soul like a blanket. Because your inner child is not lost, they're still listening. And tonight, they will hear love. Chapter 8, Letting Go with Love. Letting go is one of the hardest and most sacred acts of self-kindness. It's the decision to put down what no longer serves you, not because it wasn't important, but because it's time. And at night, when the world quiets and your thoughts rise to the surface, letting go becomes both necessary and healing. Letting go with love means releasing judgment, pain, fear, or regret, not with bitterness, but with compassion. You're not denying what happened. You're honoring your right to move forward with peace. So many of us carry the weight of the day into our sleep. We lie in bed replaying conversations, worrying about what we can't control, or feeling shame over something small we said or didn't say. These thoughts swirl like restless winds, keeping our bodies tense and our dreams disturbed. But your bed should be a place of rest, not rehearsal. It should cradle not only your body, but your spirit. And that starts with learning how to lovingly let go. Why holding on hurts? When you hold on to painful thoughts or emotions, your nervous system stays activated. You remain in a state of fight, flight, or freeze even as your body tries to fall asleep. This chronic tension robs you of rest and deepens emotional fatigue. Letting go allows your body to soften, your breath to deepen, and your subconscious to release its grip. It is an energetic decluttering of the soul. A clearing of mental and emotional space. But here's the truth, you cannot let go by force. You can only let go by love. Releasing with compassion. Instead of telling yourself, I should stop thinking about this, try asking, what part of me is still hurting? Instead of saying, I need to forget this, try, I'm ready to make peace with this. Letting go doesn't mean erasing. It means rewriting the relationship you have with the memory or emotion. It means holding it gently, thanking it for what it taught you, and then inviting it to rest. A nightly ritual for letting go. Here's a simple practice to help release the emotional residue of the day. Sit quietly with your eyes closed. Breathe deeply. Place your hand over your heart. Visualize a glowing light. See it entering your body with each inhale, filling you with calm. Picture your worries or regrets as leaves in your hand. With each exhale, release a leaf and let it drift away in the breeze. Whisper these words. I honor what happened. I accept what I cannot change. I forgive myself for being human. I choose peace tonight. This ritual signals your mind that it's safe to rest. It doesn't require perfection, only presence. Letting go of guilt. Guilt often lingers long after a mistake is made. But guilt has a healthy function only when it points us to growth. Beyond that, it becomes a punishment we carry long after the lesson has been learned. At night, reflect gently, did I grow from this? Have I apologized where needed? Have I done what I could? If the answer is yes, give yourself permission to let go. Whisper, I did my best. I'm learning. I release this now. Letting go of control. Control is a natural response to fear. But trying to control outcomes or others' opinions keeps us trapped in anxiety. Letting go of control is trusting that the future doesn't require you to suffer in the present. Say aloud, I trust that what is meant for me will come. I release the need to control. I surrender to peace. Letting go of the day. You may not realize it, but even small interactions can leave behind emotional residue. A disapproving look. A rushed reply. An unmet expectation. If not released, these fragments clutter your inner space. Before sleep, reflect. What moment today still feels heavy? What would love say about it? What am I ready to put down? Then release it, like setting down a heavy bag you've carried too long. Subliminal messages for the soul. When you let go with love, your subconscious receives messages of safety, empowerment, and worthiness. You're telling yourself, I am not my mistakes. I am not stuck in the past. I am free to rest. I am loved, even in release. These messages settle into your nervous system like lullabies. They shape your dreams, your mood, and your morning. A visualization to end the day. Try this as you lay in bed. Imagine you're standing beside a beautiful stream. In your hands are stones, each one a thought, emotion, or worry. You hold them, acknowledge them, and one by one, drop them into the stream. Watch them float away. Feel your body grow lighter. Then step back from the water. Smile. Whisper, I am free. I am whole. I am loved. A final whisper for the night. Letting go is not forgetting, it's remembering who you are without the weight. So tonight, as the stars keep watch and the moonlight pours into your room, take a breath and choose release. Let go, not with anger, not with shame, but with love. Because your soul is ready to rest, and your heart is ready to be light again. Chapter 9, A Nightly Conversation with Your Soul. Every evening, just before the world drifts into slumber, you have a sacred opportunity to commune with the deepest part of yourself, your soul. This isn't about analysis or performance. It's not about evaluation or improvement. It's about connection, presence, truth. A nightly conversation with your soul is a practice of profound honesty. It is where your roles, responsibilities, and outer personas fall away. In this space, what remains is simply you, raw, real, worthy. We often rush through the day so quickly that we forget to ask ourselves how we're really doing. We forget to check in. We forget to witness our own journey. But your soul is always ready to speak if you're willing to listen. The power of inner dialogue. Talking to your soul may feel unusual at first, especially if you've spent years ignoring your inner world. But this practice isn't mystical, it's deeply human. It's the very act of attuning to yourself with reverence. And the more you engage in this practice, the more your soul begins to feel heard, valued, safe. You develop a relationship with yourself that is no longer based on pressure or perfection but on love. Creating the space. Start by setting the mood. Dim the lights. Turn off devices. Sit on your bed or in a cozy chair. Place a hand on your heart or abdomen and breathe deeply. Let everything else fade. Now, imagine your soul sitting across from you. This part of you holds your truest essence, your wisdom, your desires, your wounds, and your wonder. It doesn't judge. It doesn't rush. It is always, always on your side. Ask these 5 questions. As you settle into stillness, ask your soul these 5 questions aloud or in your heart. How am I feeling really? This bypasses surface answers. Let yourself be vulnerable. Don't filter or correct. Simply allow. What did I need today that I didn't receive? This helps you recognize unmet needs with compassion, not blame. What can I forgive myself for tonight? Your soul holds deep empathy. Let it witness your struggles without shame. What do I want to celebrate about myself? This question rebalances your attention. You are more than your flaws, you are also your strength. What does my soul want me to know right now? This is where wisdom flows. Be still. Listen. Even if no words come, feel the silence hold you. Journaling the dialogue. After this inner conversation, take a moment to journal what came up. Don't edit. Just write. Allow this practice to be messy, emotional, beautiful. Over time, you may begin to notice patterns. Your soul's voice has a consistent tone. It's never cruel. It's always clear, calm, and kind. Soul statements to anchor in. Create your own list of affirming statements from these conversations. Here are a few to begin. I am allowed to rest. I am growing in unseen ways. I don't have to prove anything to be loved. I can be soft and strong. My journey is sacred. Whisper one or more of these statements as you lie in bed. Let them be the last thing your heart hears before sleep. Why this practice transforms. This conversation builds inner trust. It transforms your self-talk from something automatic to something intentional. It helps you move from autopilot to awareness. Instead of collapsing into sleep full of tension and unresolved emotion, you close your day in connection with yourself. This practice also rewires your brain. It moves you from survival mode to a state of regulation and ease. It soothes your nervous system. It opens your heart. And perhaps most profoundly, it teaches you that you are never truly alone. Even when it's hard. There will be nights when the conversation feels difficult. When you don't want to face the truth. When numbness or sadness seems overwhelming. That's okay. Simply sit. Breathe. Ask, what does my soul want me to hear tonight? Even if the answer is a single word: rest, trust, cry, receive it. You don't need to fix anything in this moment. You only need to show up. Tonight's soul invitation. Try this. Light a candle or place a hand on your heart. Close your eyes and breathe slowly. Ask the 5 questions above. Listen. Don't rush. Whisper this closing line: I hear you. I honor you. We're in this together. Let this be your nightly benediction. Your blessing. Your bridge to peace. A final whisper for the night. Your soul is not distant. It is not waiting for you to become better. It is here. Now. Whispering, you are already enough. So speak. Listen. Rest. Because every night is not just an ending. It is a meeting place. And your soul is always waiting there with open arms. Chapter 10, Tomorrow begins tonight. The day doesn't truly begin with the rising sun, it begins the night before. The way we close our day plants the seeds for how we rise. Our bedtime thoughts become the emotional soil from which tomorrow's mindset will grow. And so, if you want a more peaceful, empowered tomorrow, it begins with how you end your night. This final chapter is about carrying all the nightly practices: kindness, reflection, release, connection into a simple but powerful truth. You create your next day by how you treat yourself the night before. The sleep-mind connection. Science confirms what ancient wisdom already knew: your sleep quality profoundly influences your mental, emotional, and physical well-being. The thoughts and emotional state you bring into sleep affect your dream cycles, hormone balance, and how you interpret the world upon waking. When you go to bed anxious, overthinking, or harshly self-critical, you wake up already depleted. But when you close your day with compassion, intention, and self-care, you rise with clarity, energy, and grace. The power of a bedtime ritual. Let's reframe bedtime from a routine to a ritual, a sacred series of actions that transition you from doing to being, from striving to surrendering. These rituals don't need to be complex. What matters is the energy you bring to them. Here's a simple nightly ritual that shapes tomorrow with love. Reflect on what went well today, however small. Acknowledge any lingering emotions and gently name them. Speak a forgiveness phrase: I release what I cannot change. Set a soft intention for tomorrow: I will greet the new day with openness. Close with a kind affirmation: I deserve rest. I am safe to receive peace. This ritual, done with sincerity, becomes an act of emotional gardening. Each night, you tend to the roots of your spirit so it can bloom tomorrow. Rehearsing joy, not worry. Most people rehearse their worries before bed. What if you rehearsed joy instead? What if you visualized a positive outcome? A meaningful connection? A version of yourself stepping into tomorrow with confidence? Your subconscious doesn't differentiate between imagination and reality. When you visualize with emotion, you prime your brain to seek and create that reality. Try this. Imagine waking up refreshed. Picture yourself smiling as you start your day. Envision solving a challenge with calm. Feel gratitude for simple things before they happen. This is not fantasy. It's preparation. You're training your inner world to expect the best, and that expectation influences your choices, tone, and energy. Setting tomorrow's emotional tone. Your emotional tone is like a soundtrack for your day. Will it be frantic or focused? Reactive or responsive? It begins the night before. Ask yourself, how do I want to feel tomorrow? What energy do I want to carry? What kind of interactions do I want to create? Then embody that feeling now. Breathe it in. Let it settle. This act sends a powerful message to your subconscious: this is the frequency I choose. Rest as resistance and renewal. In a world obsessed with productivity, choosing to rest well is an act of courage. It is also a strategy. A well-rested mind is more creative, empathetic, and resilient. By prioritizing rest, you align with your natural rhythms and strengthen your capacity for everything that follows. Let bedtime be your sacred rebellion against burnout. Let it be the space where you remind yourself that you are not a machine. You are a miracle in motion, and you deserve restoration. Affirmations to sleep into tomorrow. Here are affirmations you can whisper as you drift off. I trust in the flow of life. Tomorrow holds promise and possibility. I am aligned with ease and clarity. I am healing, even in my sleep. With each breath, I create peace within. These phrases act like gentle guides, escorting you into the dream world with softness and purpose. Subliminal self-love. By ending your day with loving attention, you embed self-worth deep into your subconscious. You are no longer just reacting to life, you're shaping it from the inside out. This is the core message of this book: you are the mirror and the light. The night is not just a time to rest, it's a time to realign. Tonight's closing practice. Lie on your back with one hand on your belly, one on your heart. Breathe in gently for a count of 4. Exhale for 6. Silently say, thank you, today. Welcome, tomorrow. Repeat the affirmation: I am enough. I am safe. I am loved. Let this be your lullaby. Let it guide your soul into gentle sleep and into a morning that begins not in struggle but in softness. A final whisper. You've journeyed through each chapter of this book with honesty and grace. And now, you hold the keys to ending your day with intention. Remember, tomorrow begins tonight. And tonight, you choose peace. Not just for sleep, but for a life. You are worthy of this gentleness. Again. And again. Always. Here is a summary of the biggest takeaway from the Mirror of the Soul: speaking kindly to yourself at night, along with a guide on how to leverage it for deep self-enhancement, transformation, and purposeful living. Biggest takeaway. The way you speak to yourself at night shapes the person you become by day. Your soul hears every whisper, and every bedtime thought is a seed planted in the subconscious soil of your being. If you plant compassion, you grow confidence. If you plant self-blame, you grow fear. The nightly act of self-kindness is not merely about sleep, it's the foundation for self-realignment, emotional healing, and living with higher purpose. How to leverage this ebook for self-enhancement and transformation. 1. Build a sacred nightly ritual, 15 minutes nightly. Use the practices from chapters 1 to 10 to design a ritual that includes reflection: what did I learn today? Kind self-talk: what do I forgive and affirm tonight? Visualization: who am I becoming? Stillness: how do I rest in divine peace? Consistent practice re-engineers your emotional default mode from stress and self-judgment to grounded awareness and gratitude. 2. Re-engineer your inner dialogue. Train your mind to replace harsh thoughts with nurturing ones. From I'm not enough to I'm evolving every day. From I failed to I learned, and I grew. From I don't matter to my presence is a divine contribution. Use chapters 2, 3, and 5 as your blueprint to rewrite the inner narrative and speak to yourself as if your soul is listening, because it is. 3. Awaken appreciation and gratitude. Before sleep, say aloud, I am thankful I was given another day to try, to love, to breathe. From chapter 4 and 8, the 3 Gs, gratitude, growth, grace, help you focus on what's working, not what's missing. This habit elevates your vibration and keeps your heart open to life's beauty. 4. Clarify your core purpose. Ask yourself each night, what small action today reflected my reason for being alive? Did I choose alignment or distraction? What do I want my legacy to whisper? Use chapter 9 to regularly converse with your soul and align your life with the truth that you are here to create, love, contribute, not to shrink or hide. 5. Replace demerits with divine realization. Your worth is not measured in perfection or performance. It's found in presence. Each chapter teaches you that mistakes are part of your refining. Your inner child still seeks approval, but now, it can come from within. Sleep is not escape. It's renewal. With God's blessing, your soul resets. Instead of counting failures, begin counting ways you've shown up, grown, or simply survived. That's already a contribution to the world. Final reflection for real-life impact. Let the words you whisper before sleep be the mirror of the life you long to live. This ebook is more than a guide. It's a gentle reawakening. Use it to regain focus when the world pulls you apart. Reignite appreciation for the gift of simply being alive. Realign every night with your divine reason for living, not to impress, but to express. All is well with God blessed. As you speak kindly to yourself at night, remember that the Creator listens too. You are not alone. You are guided. You are cherished. Your presence is not random, it's required. So tonight, before you sleep, whisper this: I am aligned with my purpose. I honor my life. And all is well with God blessed. Reaching RTSG with AI assistance via WhatsApp QR code. Recommended Reinventing Ourselves YouTube video QR code.